Hey, fellow architects, it's a me, Mario. And today we're going to talk about this little guy here, the laborer. He's one of the most boring apprentices of all. I mean, look at his face. He's just bored to death or just very tired. One of the two. Uh, he works pretty well in every game, but he's just boring. Why is he boring? Because he's very good at saving you actions. You just get it at the beginning of the game, then you don't have to bother with any other apprentices if you don't want to. You will never go to the workshop to hire. So you might never go to the silversmith to gain coins. You can just build, collect resources from the forest, the quarry, and the mines, and just go buildings. Why should you go for this strategy if it's boring? Well, it's pretty effective. In particular, he's very good against cathedral rushers. And I know a lot of you watching this video have problems with cathedral rushers. This guy is very good because he's not going to give you any headache in getting buildings. Sometimes when people rush the cathedral, they can be faster than you because they don't need apprentices. They just need to, go to the quarry a lot or go to the forest a lot. Maybe go to the black market once or to the king's storehouse twice, and then they can just reach the top of the cathedral. And if everybody goes for it, the game is going to devolve in something very fast, and you won't have the time to hire apprentices, get the correct icons, get enough buildings, and then build everything. I mean, you might have time, but you're not sure. With a laborer, you're for sure gonna have time. So that's why at the beginning of the meta, and still sometimes now, I went for the laborer. The laborer is also very good with the three buildings that give you one more point per specific icon: the tiler's hut, the woodcutter's hut, and the builder's hut. I think they're the three names. So that's another thing that can draw you towards this kind of boring strat. You have to also pivot a bit depending on the buildings that you've been dealt with. Like in this game, you can see that I was dealt a hideout, which is not a bad building if the two loss of virtue doesn't give you anything negative. Like if you go to 5 and then if you can get back one virtue, then it's all good. The conversion rate is very good actually. And this is part of the reason I got the Acolyte here, I think. It was giving me one more point thanks to the extra virtue. And I also got one step on the Cathedral because I was trying to rush the game, if I remember correctly. So I got it from the tavern without needing money. I got the extra virtue and I got one extra building without wasting an action. So basically, this tavern, instead of giving me just the Acolyte, basically gave me two more building actions, one for the cathedral and one for the extra building that I was able to collect. So in this game, it was pretty good. But normally, you're just stuck with a laborer and you're happy with it. So you just build whatever you're dealt with, get as many points as you can before the end of the game. Normally, you can build something between 6 or 7, but if the other players are really rushing the cathedral, you might be alright with 5 buildings. 5 buildings are already way more than 20 points in total, most of the time, unless they are all like lumber camps or these kind of buildings. So you should be able to eke out a victory even against a rushing cathedral. So the laborer is a boring guy. He's very good against cathedral rushers. And it's still interesting because you might hire somebody else to complement what you're doing, but you're not like forced to as with other apprentices. So his strength is just the three icons, of course, and you're going to save basically by itself. It saves you 4 actions if you never hire anybody else and if you need all the icons, which is actually very good for an apprentice that you can get at the beginning of the game. So you can just get him, don't bother with coins the whole game and just build. That's the main strategy you can employ with him. I know it's not like a long video, a very interesting one, but I'm supposed to talk about all the apprentices, so that's the laborer for you. And till next time, Mario's out. Bye bye.